Ministers say they are preparing to take legal action against Iceland to recover billions of pounds paid out to British savers following the collapse of Iceland's banks. Icelandic voters have rejected for a second time a deal to reimburse the UK and the Netherlands over the failure of Icesave in 2008. The row over the bill comes just a day before a government-appointed commission gives its first view of the future of banking in Britain. Jane Death reports.
At the second time of asking, Iceland still hasn't warmed to the idea of paying back the £2.3 billion it owes the UK since the collapse of the internet bank Icesave. In the second referendum on a compensation deal, 60% of people voted no to paying for a private bank's losses, and they'd have paid with interest for the next 30 years. The finance minister said there's no point asking them again.
I think it's very hard to interpret this in any other way than the fact that the Icelandic people is not prepared to accept payments or shoulder burden unless there is a clear legal obligation to do so.
The debt dates back to 2008, when Icesave went to the wall and cash belonging to UK and Dutch savers went with it. Like the Netherlands, the UK government reimbursed people. Now it wants Iceland to pay it back. Negotiating hasn't worked. Today the government said it will see Iceland in court.
It is obviously disappointing that it seems that the people of Iceland have rejected what was a negotiated settlement. And of course we respect the will of the Icelandic people in this matter, and we're going to have to now go and talk to the international partners with whom we work, not least the government of the Netherlands. It now looks like this process...
Because they want their money as well,
Of course they do.
Yeah.
And it now looks like this process will end up in the courts. There's a legal process going on.
The government says it's got an obligation to chase Iceland for the £2.3 billion, because we're in a difficult position too and could really use the cash. Meanwhile, tomorrow, the UK's Independent Commission on Banking will suggest ways to protect savers in big British banks. It will recommend that banks that combine both savings and investment operations should put their investment ventures in separate companies away from savings, so that if investments go up in flames, savers don't get burned.